Alright guys, welcome back for another analysis video here. It's going to be Grand Master level PvT once again, and we're going to be looking at the same players from the other video. So it's going to be aMBiTioN here versus Clem. Now what we're going to be touching about here is a lot of defensive kind of key aspects to Protoss. So we're going to be looking especially at the observer positioning here, as well as certain shield battery, and figuring out what the intention of the Terran is. So we're going to load up into this game right now. So now I'm not going to say much about the opening so far. I think both players do it quite well. So we have a pylon. He does this wall off perfectly, by the way, which is really cool. Pylon here, which you can know because it's right next to this kind of thingy here. And then this at the very edge. You can put the cyber core right in between. Alright, cool. This is a very nice start to all this. He goes for core first once again. Very good. And you know, the goal of the Reaper here is just to kind of like scout, right? If he's picking out your pylon, like, don't worry about it. It's just a pylon, dude. Like, nobody cares, to be honest. As long as you don't lose any probes by transferring, I think this is completely fine. This watchtower here, very nice. We're going to go in here for the double stalker. Very cool. Very soon, though, I will be disagreeing with the third unit here that is produced. In fact, you might actually wait for a warp gate. I would just, you actually have the money, I would definitely just start a sentry right here. Like, you can, sentry is so good on gas and so low on money, too, that it's just such a great tool. And the earlier you have a sentry on, too, the more it can start to build up energy. So you have multiple scouts throughout the entire early to mid game. So it's really good. And unless it runs into a Widowmine, it's going to get the scout off 100%. Now here, what Clem is doing is that he's going for a just racks with Hellions and also the medevac. So what's I don't know if he actually spotted the Hellions. I think he did. I think he did go see the Hellion, because if you see the Hellion, you can probably know he's not going to go into Widowmine after the Hellion. Normally when you want to do a Widowmine drop, you're just going to go into Widowmines directly. Now this is where we're pretty much at that timing where we would have, here we have this third stalker, we would have had a hallucination by now, and we could have seen what was happening, right? You just throw out a hallucinated Phoenix, it should get here roughly, not quite on time, but close to on time. And he goes for double gas here. I think he wants to go into Colossus quite fast. But Clem is going for this, and I believe he would have seen, it's so important to be able to see the Hellions too, just in general, because the Hellions here indicate that first of all, there's a run by, but also that they're just trying to go for probes. This is not a frontal kill your units type of push. These are kill the probes type of push. And like, especially with the medevac here not being home, the answer here would have pretty much just to drop a shield battery here and in the main, to be honest. Because not only can they heal your units, but even if he drops Marines, he was not going to have the firepower to start killing mineral lines. The goal here is to kill shit in the mineral line. If you drop a shield battery in there, you're completely destroying the purpose of what he's trying to do. You're not necessarily killing the units, although it's going to help for sure, but you're completely destroying his purpose right now. Purpose in life. Obviously, he's going to try and do a 1-2 punch here. He kind of draws this out, and he already loses 2 probes, which is not ideal. But having, first of all, this stalker, I don't know why it's here, but just having the a shield battery like right here could have helped probably stop a couple of probes from dying, and also just help your stalkers just trade a lot better. Like here they're trying to fight on 2 fronts. With a single shield battery here, you're fine. On top of that, even though it would run out of energy, you still might have an overcharge. Actually, not at this point, but that was a good defense overall. Very good pull on the probes. Spending a lot on stalkers here. I'm not sure how I feel about this. After taking out a push, I would not just warp in more units. They are at their weakest right now. Their push just got thwarted. They are at their weakest. I would definitely just not warp in these two and just get a faster nexus right now. Because if you look at what they have, they're still in their transitionary phase right now. This is also, by the way, where you are going to send out your second hallucination, because It's gonna arrive around like 6 minutes roughly. And this is where it's going to really help to figure out what position you're in, because now we're going to be going for Colossus technology. And Colossus technology is really, really good against most Bio-Widowmine styles. The thing is, it's really bad against someone who's going for continual tanks. Right here, we actually have an observer, which is quite nice. I don't know if it actually goes over. Oh, look at that. You're spotting the army. You're not spotting the technology, though. Actually, just barely. That was kind of lucky. But this is a pretty important part, is that you're spotting here the reactor on the factory. That's letting you know that he's going into Widowmines next and not continuing into tanks. Because would he continue into tanks, that's a lot of trouble for all these stalkers and the Colossus that you're about to get into. If he were to go for more tanks, I would probably not necessarily skip this, but you can either go for a disruptor, maybe, but most likely an immortal, because the immortal is gonna take so much more damage and heat from the tanks than a Colossus would, 100%. So here it would have been really good, and he does kind of scout this, but he scouts so that it goes into Widowmine, which is really good. But this lets you know, all right, what should I be making with my robo at this point? And what you're going to be making out of your robo is going to be depending on what he's making out of his factory. So here he has a reactor. He's going to go into Widowmine, so going to Colossus here, very, very good. If you have like 3-4 tanks, oh man, that is a scary ass push right here. You've got Colossus and you have to go up against like 4 tanks. That's a bad time. Yeah. So here, obviously, that gets picked off. But it could have been a hallucination, right? Those are absolutely free, which is the best part of hallucinations. This is a good pickoff. I really like this. Yep. This observer makes no sense here. I don't know what you're doing. He's being so careful because he got the first one scanned, but now he's just too careful with them. And you're not really spotting. I mean, you're spotting. Oh, hold on. As soon as these stalkers leave, what are you realistically spotting here? You're just spotting the entrance, right? And as well as this observer here is not spotting much. In fact, it's not even an observer mode. What we're spotting here is the edge. We can maybe see an army come here if he's like going through it pretty fat. And here maybe possibly. But we have so much dead airspace right now. We're going to see what's going to happen right now with the observers, that he sees the move out. Kinda. He sees he's going this way. Kinda. The rest is blind. We're just going to go in. We're just going to keep going here. I'm just going to stay on aMBiTioN's vision right now. What's happening? Okay, we got observer here. Okay, what the fuck is happening? You saw the move out. This should have been an... I mean, the shield battery is here, but it's going to die, right? Because none of your stuff is in position because you don't know where the army is. The best position here, what you could do is being able to spot multiple things at the same time. This observer needs to be right here. If you siege the observer right here, you get triple vision coverage. If this observer is sieged here, you can see an army going this way. If he's going this way, you can see an army going this way, kinda. But most importantly, you can see the army going this way and this way as well. So you've got this way, and this way covered with one observer right here. That was a fantastic spot. Ditto right here. Should the observer would have been here, if this observer was here instead, he could have been able to tell if the army is going this way, if it's going this way or this way, which are basically the same thing, really. The shield battery here is way too in front. The shield battery has range. You can put it back here and have your units in front attack. Having this widen the open in the front is not necessary unless you're like trying to like bully him down this ramp. But I would just place the shield battery here and here. A little bit safer here at the back. He's going to come in here, and he's going to get picked off pretty much immediately. And, I mean, his stalker army is just completely out of position, because he kind of saw this moving out, but, like, he didn't take the best path, right? And he didn't know exactly which angle he was going to be coming from. Like, up until this point, we had, like, no idea. Let's just come back here for a second. I'm just going to stay on his vision. No idea where he is. I don't know. I don't know where he is. Oh shit! Something's here. Oh shit! Wait, I kind of wait. Oh fuck! He's already here. Like you can't have that happen, dude. Observer placement right here, right here. You get triple vision coverage right there. It's really good. This shield battery, as I was saying, got picked off immediately. If it was at more at the back here, you actually have more time to move forward, and you have a battery overcharge, and like you get one battery overcharge, and this army's gone. It's over. You can't actually kill this army anymore, especially with the Colossus here. And he's pretty happy about these Widow Mines right now, and having only one tank to deal with. Hell yeah, dude. This is where I'm just going to get into the next part here. Obviously, the second Colossus hasn't been chrono boosted. Actually, no, it's right here. This is kind of weird. Well, actually, he started building this because he had no idea where he was coming from, right? There's could have just been 2 shield batteries here. We have a lot of chrono boost energy here. We have 1, 2, 3. Almost 3. Actually, no, here. There's like 2 more here. Obviously, that could have been a photon overcharge as well. I keep saying photon overcharge. Battery overcharge. But I mean, like +1 might have been finished. Extended thermal lance would have been so much closer to finishing as well, and that would have helped with this push immensely. I don't think this push was unholdable, to be honest. I think if you were just to have a little bit better vision here, especially with the observer placement, just have those observers cover multiple things at the same time. There's always things you should look out for, and that's why Zergs are so good with their Overlord placement, because they're covering key places on the map as well as covering multiple places at once by putting them on pillars, just like this one, right? When you put them on a pillar, this is a very basic thing, but you know when the army's here, you know when it leaves this way, and you know when it leaves this way as well. So it's kind of what you need to do with your observers as well. Spending your chrono boost, obviously, always important. Try to keep it as low as possible. Every chrono boost is a waste. Every unused chrono boost is a wasted chrono boost. And yeah, obviously the shield battery was a little bit too in front here. There's no need for it to be that in front. You can be at the back. Just be defensive. Wait for your thermal lance. You're +1, and you're going to be super Gucci against this push. Especially with the fact that your third, it was actually pretty much ahead of his. If we look at the worker count, where's that? Well, it's 49 to 54 now, but I mean, like, it's actually not that bad, especially with the fact that he has to transform this into an orbital command, and he's only going 1 upgrade at a time, just like you. So you're not even that far behind it at all. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much the observer placement on Eternal Empire. Obviously, there's more things to cover. This is a really nice pylon spot because they're spotting the kind of dead space right here. Very good. Yeah, you can have one here. You can maybe even have one here. Although this doesn't really cover much, as we're talking about. Like, it only covers here. It doesn't really cover here because nobody's going to be hugging this wall in particular. And then obviously whenever you see someone's trying to go for like a Hellion or like just a Marine drop or something like that, especially with your hallucinations, just drop a shield battery here. Their goal is to kill workers because they can't actually fight your army. Their goal is to kill as many workers as possible before your army kills them. If you have a shield battery protecting your workers, it's over, dude. Like, they're not going to do any damage. And right after you repel an attack, that's when the Terran is at their weakest. Just expand. It's fine. You're good. You're good. You just thwarted all their plans. So, yeah. Pretty much it for that replay analysis.